And welcome back to Sport of the Kings. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Brandman Brandon and Tank Kramer. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Oh man, it's almost Friday.
It's almost Friday. We are almost at the end of our live show. We are doing this one right now. Right now, we're doing the Bel-Air Season 2, Episode 6 recap. So, basically, I don't know if you guys all saw Episode 6. This is all basically, it's Let the Best Man Win. It's all about the Banks family reunion. That's where we're all based on basically all Phil's families coming in. That's why Geoffrey was talking to Viv in the last episode about getting all the alcohol for her because she's gonna need the drink to get through.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of cool callbacks. It was they finally resolved their issues with Geoffrey. And we got to the end of the episode, and everyone was happy dancing and all that stuff. So it was like the calm before the storm. So that's kind of how I felt about it. What did you guys think about this episode?
It was okay. It didn't do a whole lot for me. I feel like when you, and this goes for not just Bel-Air, but like almost every show, like when you hit kind of the midpoint of the season, which we're kind of nearing or well into, you have the filler episodes that are kind of about really a whole lot of nothing or not much really happens. So this was that obligatory midpoint episode where nothing that really advanced.
That's exactly what it is. Because honestly, so at the beginning of the episode, Will tells Carlton he's not going to he's not dropping out of the Founders Race award. So he's not dropping out, just like we knew last episode. And at the end of this episode, it's still the same point. So nothing advanced in that, right?
Yeah.
We know Phil didn't tell Vivian about Erica, right? So we know that that's at the beginning of the episode, and at the end of the episode, nothing still has changed about that, right? Jazz didn't want to talk to Hillary at the beginning of the episode. The end of the episode, nothing changed. Will really hasn't gone anywhere with anything with it from as far as this episode goes. That's the only thing we got resolved was Geoffrey. And was it really resolved, or did it just add more fuel to the fire? If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically Phil and Viv kind of confront Geoffrey about what's been going on. They saw him on the camera looking through this stuff, looking for his son. So Geoffrey sits down and just decides to talk to Phil and Vivian about him not being honest with them. They both agree they want to help him out. So what they do is they hand him this envelope. Inside the envelope, pictures and images of his son, everything that Geoffrey's been missing out on, everything he's always been looking for that he really needs. How do you guys feel about that?
I thought it was kind of interesting because usually it's Geoffrey giving the folder of information to Phil, so it kind of flipped on this one. But they understand the mistakes that happened last season with Will. They're like, all right, we know what happened. Let's not repeat ourselves, which is good because then when it gets boring as a TV show to see the same issue just repeated in different forms. So that's good. But then it's also good is like you see them developing as characters. Like, listen, we went through this already. We know, you've seen it, so we're gonna fix it. And they're on the same team, which I like again, because I was really afraid Geoffrey was going to cause a rift in the friendship this time around because of the sneaking around. But Phil and Viv were very
open with it and just said,
very open with it.
You know what's going on. We understand because that's your son. We want to help you with this, but you still can't contact them. And even the rest of the family kind of knows. I mean, because Carlton had kind of hinted at it. He was like, we all know, what's going on, but Phil and Viv, they're very secretive. They don't want to tell everyone else in Geoffrey's business, so they kind of leave it alone. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. So, we are talking about Bel-Air right now. So this is our last topic for the night. The latest episode of Bel-Air that came out today.
Today, a couple hours ago.
Yeah. So,
The rest of the episode basically is about the fish fry now, because that's what the family reunion Viv didn't know what it was be about. It's the fish fry, so she now has to put together this fish fry on the fly for all of Phil's family, and
huge family
because everybody and their mama they all want to come be there because he's the rich one. So I want to enjoy being around over there.
Yeah. My favorite was when they're all coming off the bus, and Geoffrey's like, that's Pookie. He's like, Pookie. It's like,
but Geoffrey was so cool with the way he did it, though. He was just like, he knew everyone. He knew what their jobs were. He knew exactly what their characters were, like their characteristics were. He was just naming them off, like, this what it is, this what it is, this what it is, and he was just hitting all that stuff up.
That was super awesome.
So basically, during this episode, we still hear about Hillary not getting any response from Jazz, which I'm not surprised, because if I was Jazz, I'd be like, F you too. And if you don't know why, Hillary basically let her ex-boyfriend, who's a football player, come to the art show, just to get clicks and to bring people in just for his popularity. And now you're basically opening the door for him, and now he's telling everybody else, I'm trying to win Hillary back. Jazz the one don't want that smoke. He don't want to deal with that. He's not trying to fight somebody for anyone. He's not. He's leaving, and everyone else is basically telling them, I'm Team Jazz, and then Hillary says I'm Team Jazz too, but it doesn't seem like she really is, because she's trying to play in the mid ground, the middle of everything, just like she always does, and that's why she's one of my least favorite characters.
Yeah, I think she's a lot of. I think this season, I don't say ruined, but didn't get her right, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. I mean, it's not too late. I think they can still fix it.
They're going to have to do something with her, but this whole LaMarcus thing has to kind of be resolved.
Yeah. I hate love triangles.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, this
fine,
show's full of them.
Trophy. Yeah.
This show's full of triangles and octagons and anything else, parabolas or anything else you can think of. They have all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the other thing is the family has a huge football game at the end of their whole fish fry, and it's a big thing. Carlton basically tells Will how big of a thing this is. They're all doing those things. They're enjoying it, but that's why Phil invited LaMarcus, because LaMarcus was an ex-professional football player.
Or is a professional.
He's a current.
Yeah. He got drafted. That's why they broke up.
So, that's why he invited him to the football game. And during the football game, it was kind of interesting because, as I said, LaMarcus tells Will that he plans to win back Hillary. They're in the middle of the football game, and basically at the end, Carlton has a chance to win the game. He have a game-winning touchdown, but he drops it on purpose to save Will again. Once again, Carlton being the mensch, being the guy who always is saving Will, even though Will's the one that gets all the credit. Carlton's the one that always doing all the stuff.
Yeah, so that kind of. And eventually it's going to come to an end.
Eventually he's going to stand up for himself, and I think that would be the best thing for Carlton.
Yeah. But this was, would you call it a filler episode? I mean, some things did happen, but
the main storylines, I think it was a pause, because the main storylines, nothing changed in the main storylines. Everything, all the competition is still there. Will is still inside in the Founders Award. He's nothing's changed with Hillary. Nothing's changed with anyone. Phil still hasn't explained himself about Erica. Only thing that happened was Vivian earned Phil's mom's respect, and she basically said that she did a great job putting all this together. She gives all the credit to her for making the reunion happen. And then you see at the end of the episode was Phil reminiscing with his brother about their father.
Yeah.
And then, but that kind of brings back the whole Geoffrey thing again.
Yeah. I thought the relationship with Phil and his brother was kind of cool because they pitted Carlton and his brother's son.
Carlton, yeah.
Because he's like, oh, I play lacrosse, and then Will's like, oh, he plays lacrosse too. He's like, yeah, we made it playoffs. He's like, yeah, well, we made it to state, and it was just like, and then they're playing. I think they were playing dominoes, and the cousin, forgot to call it, and Carlton comes in, swoops it, and then makes Phil's brother pissed off. Like that competitive was so crazy, but I know that's a real thing in real life. Between like two brothers, and then they got sons, and they're trying to, show off and who's the better kind of one. So
always, it's very, very real life. I was very happy at the end of the episode that everyone's kind of just coming together, dancing, enjoying each other for a little bit. But as I said, I told you guys, felt like this was the calm before the storm. So we're gonna get. I mean, this really was filler to get to the next episode. So the next episode is going to be like fireworks and shit again. So
yeah, definitely things got to hit the fan.
Yeah, but I think Geoffrey being honest and Phil and Viv being honest with him is probably the most satisfying part of the entire episode. Because I was worried that we're gonna lose Geoffrey again. They didn't do it this time. They changed the way they did stuff.
Yeah. I always felt like ever since he came back, he's been. I mean, obviously he's been in the house, but it hasn't been the same. Him and Will kind of been the same, but everyone else is just not the same vibe. And I hope after this episode, like they get back to that.
Because Phil's gonna need Geoffrey. Yeah. He's gonna need his counseling. He's gonna let him know that how Erica's not there for you. You cannot work with her. And Geoffrey's gonna have to be honest. And you need that person to be there.
Yeah. You kind of slap him like, think straight, bro.
You're working late with her again? No, that's stupid.
Yeah. So, but it was a funish episode from the stuff I saw. So
I would say I'll give it 3 stars. Like if I was rating a 3 to 5, it's 3. I mean, from on a 5-point system, it'll be a 3. It's a regular. It's not terrible. It was just okay, and it didn't resolve anything. And there's still so much going on. But it didn't resolve anything. So just kind of, and Ashley was really in the background this entire episode. Like, meant nothing. The entire episode at all. Like,
but they made it set up where like something could have happened because she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna help the old people with their medicine and the diabetes and blood sugars and stuff like that." So I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting," because they're gonna put the youngest person with all the old people. So you always have like that kind of like Gen Z versus Boomer, kind of stuff that is going on in the real world. But it started and then that was it.
That was it.
And then nothing happened.
We never adjusted again.
Yeah. So like, but I'm ready for next week. Next week's episode.
So I can't wait to see, because maybe what it is this flag football game is more of a microcosm of what's going to be going on between Will and Carlton. Like it's going to be fighting, and Carlton's going to have a chance to win, but it's going to be at Will's expense, and Carlton intentionally drops the ball to make sure he saves face for Will. He doesn't try to embarrass him.
It could be the opposite.
Could be like the Will does it for Carlton.
It could be
like Carlton just as him repaying him for what he did here. Because Will really set it up for them to lose. And Carlton repays it, and Will repays it, and all's good in the world. Maybe. I don't know where else this could go, but this is what happened during the episode, and I guess that's it.
Yeah, nothing much. Anything, Brandon?
No, I was. This was I was pretty indifferent to this episode.
Yeah.
It was like I mentioned, I feel like every season of almost every show kind of hits this point where it did feel like a filler episode to me. Nothing that happened. A lot of the drama was kind of more of the same, like between Hillary and Jazz. Just kind of like Carlton, Will checking up on Carlton. It didn't really. I don't really think it did anything to move the narrative forward.
Mhm.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, it was
Just
it was
what
all
it
right.
was. It was just it
Yeah.
was what it was. It wasn't anything special. It was just another episode to help you get close to the end.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a
thing?
question?
What's that?
Do they need to do a better job for us to get a season 3 right now? From where
Oh.
we are till the end? Do they need to do a better job, or we're going to get a season 3 no matter what?
Good question. Yeah, real good question. I mean, as the things are right now, I don't see a need for season 3. Like, it's just not interesting enough. But also like season 1 had the ending that was like, damn, like was like a great ending. So I mean,
Mhm.
there's still episodes left to get to that crazy ending that they
Mhm.
could get to, and I think they will. But they gotta stick the landing. They gotta stick the landing where people are watching at the end of the season and are like, "Holy crap! I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that person showed up or they did this." And
Yeah, they got to do something big.
I think that's what we're gonna get 9 and 10. I think Hillary's gonna do her best to try to work it out with Jazz. Will's gonna keep on going with his basketball thing, and episode 9 and 10 is gonna be Will figuring out the basketball thing, even giving it up, because he doesn't trust Doc. Does Carlton give up the Founders Award because of principles? Does Viv give up her art thing just because they're not letting her speak her truth? Does Phil fight to keep his partnership together? I mean, I don't know if any of those things will be, but it has to be resolved in what 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 episodes. So we got a lot of things, a lot of storylines to wrap up. So I think it needs to be better. I think we need to be really a lot better in order for us to get more a season 3. Because as of right now, I don't see it.
Yeah. When they sign on for a season 2, did they sign on for a season 3, like 2 and 3?
I have not seen it. I have not seen season 3 being put out there.
Yeah. It is, though. March 17th. In short, yes, Peacock has finally renewed Bel-Air for a 3rd season.
Oh, really?
It's from the cosmopolitan.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not
they
sure.
are getting a 3rd season. So, and then, but when you get stuff like that, when you're getting another season, you can stretch out a storyline into 2 seasons. So maybe we get that, which would kind of suck, but I wouldn't be surprised. But
and then outside, we might get something like the end of this episode, end of the season. Then we get everything resolved, and then we find out that Geoffrey left and kidnapped his son and went somewhere.
Geez.
And that's
I hope not, man. That sounds messed up.
He's trying to go out and live somewhere in the island, and and that doesn't go out well.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, but what do you guys think? I mean, you watched this episode. Do you agree with our synopsis of it? Do you agree with what we think is going to happen next? You need to comment with us. Let us know where you think where everything's going. Tell me if you like it. If you like this video, if you did like the episode, and if you like our explanation of it. We're looking to get to 1,000 subscribers right now, so please subscribe. Make sure you tell your friends, share our content with it. If you know someone else that likes Bel-Air, let's share this so we can go ahead and talk more. I would like to have more people in the comments when we're doing these things. So also hit the bell notification to know when we go live. So we talk about these shows. We usually talk about TV shows on Thursdays. We talk about movies on Mondays. So please visit with us. come in. You're part of the show all the time, and this is our show for Bel-Air. And I'm going to say thank you guys for watching it. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
And we're going to keep it going with our regular show. So next topic, guys.